Hey guys, welcome back to A2D, Agree to Disagree. Continuing on with our free agency shows. We got another team that's made a lot of noise in free agency with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know we got some Jag fans out there thinking that they went out and spent all this money and got some pretty big names. So, BT, what were some of those names that, they went out today and got?
Starting off with the biggest one of the day, Christian Kirk, dude, he signed a 4-year, $72 million deal. My boy, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and that was a landing spot that I kind of talked about a little bit, man. He's a perfect complement to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, we saw some good deep ball throws. Marvin Jones was on the receiving end of plenty of those, but Christian Kirk to me is a upgrade in that department. So the fit there made sense, and they just have money to spend. Trevor Lawrence is still on his rookie deal, so they're kind of going for it right now. They also got Evan Ingram, 1 year and $9 million. They got Brandon Scherf on a 3-year deal. I think it was to be determined on the numbers on that one, but they're protecting him on offense, man. They also got Zay Jones from the Raiders on a 3-year, $30 million deal. So they got Zay Jones, they got Christian Kirk, they got Marvin Jones Jr., they got Evan Ingram at tight end, they got Scherf. They still have the number 1 overall draft pick. So they can get a tackle and they can just really protect and surround Trevor Lawrence with basically everything he needs. Yeah, they're not the greatest wide receivers in the world, but if you're a good enough quarterback and the offensive line, and not to mention your running game, they're going to get Travis Etienne back. They got Robinson, right? James Robinson. So they're going to have 2 backs. They get that lineman at first overall to really just protect him, that left tackle, that all of a sudden you don't have to pay a left tackle and you don't have to pay a quarterback for 4 years now because these guys just got drafted. And those are 2 of the premier high-priced positions in the NFL. So if you can get away with not paying those guys on rookie deals, it makes sense for these guys to spend money. So for me, I like all these moves, man. Like I said, they're not the Allen Robinsons that a lot of guys thought was going to happen, or the real high price. High price. Christian Kirk got that bag, but still, they did what they have to do to give Trevor Lawrence what he needs, and they still have the draft ahead of them too. So Jacksonville, they're trying to help him, and you never know. Trevor Lawrence can be that guy because we talk about the elite quarterbacks in the AFC. He didn't have a great rookie year, but the potential's there, and if you give him some weapons, we're about to find out.
Yeah, man. I never hate on the Jags, right? I never hate on the Jags. I never hate on the Lions, right? I feel like those are 2 organizations where if you don't like those teams or you root against them, man, go look in the mirror, dude. They ain't done nothing wrong. They just can't do nothing right? So I'm gonna keep that theme. They didn't really do nothing right to me, except spend a bunch of money. And I look at the Christian Kirk deal. You got a man that played 4 seasons, didn't even crack $3,000 on the yards for 4 years, right? He's pretty injury prone, and you're going to go ahead and give him $21 million a season, right? Because I got the one that said the accelerator up to 84, right? It's incentive based.
That's with the incentives.
Yeah,
the 472.
Then we move to Ingram, and you give this guy 1 year, $9 million. Now we're up to $30 million, and you're going to go ahead and tell me that you signed Zay Jones, who's played 6 seasons and hasn't even cracked 1,900 career yards, and you're going to give him $10 million. So I'm $40 million deep between 3 guys that are injured or don't produce really well, and you expect me to believe that now we're going to elevate around Trevor Lawrence? All I look at this as, my guys, is they just spent a bunch of money. I'm not gonna hate on Brandon Scherf. I'm the resident lineman here. I got nothing but love for my guards. So Brandon Scherf got paid. But the funny thing, going back to what BT said about the one show we talked about where he did predict the Jacksonville as a landing spot, I wrote in my notes, well, Christian Kirk, I can't imagine he'd be demanding a bag. Well, I was dead ass wrong. So he got a bag. They paid a lot of guys. I like their defensive moves. I think it fits their system, what they did. And I would definitely label them as losers who spent a whole lot of money.
Yeah, I agree with Josh. They went out, they spent tier 1 money on tier 2 guys. And this is what Jacksonville does, right? I mean, they go out and
But it's what they have to do.
yeah, they're trying to contend in a division that, Tennessee dominates, or, the Colts on good years dominate. Houston used to, but they're in a division that's pretty, top heavy with 2 teams. And they're going out and they're just, hey, we're going to pay and plug, we're going to pay for this position. They still don't have any linebackers. Their best linebacker is Miles Jack, and this guy, never really lived up to it. They
just signed Foye Oluokun.
Yeah,
Foye Oluokun, 3-year, 45 from the Falcons.
That's why I like the defensive moves, but you ain't gonna sell me on that offensive side yet.
Yeah, they still. I mean, Jalen Ramsey left a couple years ago, so they're still pretty bang, or they don't really have a secondary. They don't have a leader on defense. I mean, you could talk about Oluokun. He wasn't even really the leader on the Falcons defense.
Josh Allen.
Okay, Josh Allen's their best defensive player. Okay, so now if you team him up, you're talking about going out and getting, I believe his name's Evan Neal from Alabama, right? So you go ahead and protect.
You could get Aiden Hutchinson, and all of a sudden
you pair him with Josh Allen, and yeah, you got a nice little pair of pass rushers there. But like Josh said, I mean, $21 million for a guy like Christian Kirk. I mean, he hasn't really done anything wow factor. So that's a big loss to me. I mean, that's a loser right there to me, because
I agree with you guys on that point, but also the same point, Allen Robinson, right? What if he just said, I'm not going there. I already went there before. I don't want to go back. I want to go somewhere else where I know I'm going to be the guy, whatever the reason is, they can't get him. Who's the next guy up? Kirk was probably the next best free agent wide receiver. And were you going to draft a guy number 1 overall? No, not at receiver. Maybe in the second round you can get another guy, but right now they just are fortunate to be in this position to where they just have this money. They got to give it to somebody, and Christian Kirk has happened to be on the receiving end of it. It's not like he ain't Devontae. Everyone knows he ain't no Devontae. He's not even a real true wide receiver 1. Josh, you just put out his numbers. That ain't happening. He's a wide receiver 2 getting paid wide receiver 1 money. We all know that. But he just happened to be fortunate and be in a good position to be the next guy up. Because
he's never
who's after him?
Been the wide receiver 2 in Arizona though either. I mean, he
was though. He had almost 1,000 yards. He led the team and everything. I know Hopkins
went down. Yeah, maybe, but
right, yeah.
I don't.
Even then, he would have been the number 2 guy. He was beating out.
His best season as a pro was last year. He had 77 catches, 982, and 5 touchdowns. So he got paid $21 million off that. So I mean, hey, bro, that was some good work by his agent.
He must have Kirk Cousins' agent. Yeah. Matt Flynn and Kirk Cousins' agent, But yeah, I when it comes to the Jaguars, I mean, it's been a losing franchise other than a couple of years. So you can't really call them losers in free agency. They're doing their best down there, man.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, God, they're doing the best they can.
They're trying, man.
They do what they have to do.
Was a shit show. They went out and got a kid who, I still believe in Trevor Lawrence, and I was high last year. Brian brought up a good point. Travis Etienne, he's not going to be their running back threat. He's going to be more of their passing down threat. And James Robinson coming back from the torn Achilles, like if he comes back healthy, he's been a top 10 guy in the last 2 years in my book. He's great talent. So they do have a nice 1-2 punch back there. They're going to piece them together. They're going to be better than the 3-14, whatever they were this year. They'll probably bump up that, 2 or 3 more wins this year and be a 6-11 team. And
I got them around 8. If Trevor Lawrence takes the next step that he can
take, I think, dude. I mean, really think about it. How do you get to 8 wins?
But their division, you can beat Houston twice, Tennessee, and then
Houston beat them twice last year.
No, I got 7 and 10.
They can beat Indianapolis apparently pretty easily.
We'll see where they end up at quarterback, but I see them maybe they bumped their win total up a couple of games. And they went out and they pieced some stuff together. Doug Peterson's not going to be the shit show that they had last year. So, hopefully, who knows? Maybe they do. I don't know.
They had money to spend. Owner can't just put it in his pocket. If he can, shame on him. I mean, you got to pay somebody, fill out that cap space.
Yeah.
And they did what they had to do.
I mean, they're not losers in my book. They're not winners either. They're kind of right in the middle of the pack to me. But I mean, they went out and they actually got some guys.
Yeah.
So,
I was just gonna say it's a good effort, dude. I like what they're doing, but it's just when you look at it, you're like, whoa, dude, whoa.
I can't be like, yeah, go Jags, woo. But
fantasy sleeper, Christian Kirk.
He could be.
Yeah, he could keep sleeping, homie.
He definitely could be. You said Evan Ingram, 1 for 9. Yeah,
that's another one.
He's been injured his whole career
down there. No, I mean he's
also been playing with Daniel Jones.
He's drop city. He's playing with Eli too, and he's drop city, man. I mean, it's just,
hey, by all means, bro. Like I said, dude, all I pray is that we get a Lions and Jags Super Bowl one day. So I want nothing more than for this to work. I'm just saying, when I look at it, my boy. Come on, dude. Like,
it's going to be the year 2050.
It would have been cool if they got them on cool deals, but they paid so much, dude.
It's going to be the year 2050. Tom Brady's won Super Bowls with every other franchise. So he goes to the Lions to win them a Super Bowl in 2050 at the age of 70, whatever. That's what's going to happen.
No, Tom's not ever going anywhere. He's happy in Tampa. Thank you. All right, Jags fans. Holla at us, man. Let us know, you guys win or you guys losers.